Et voilà.
But you are very good.
I'm sorry?
You are very good.
Thank you. No, I just
I
want...
love how you be artist, like how you talk. Let
thank you.
me
Yeah.
check. Just
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, take two. Hello, friends. Welcome back to another exciting, inspiring, and fun episode of On Location with Zara, produced with the support of Talus Story Hive. It's been my absolute pleasure and honor bringing you some amazing locals over the last year. Actually, the last year and a half, because this is my second show with Talus Story Hive. Today, joining me is someone who has become a dear friend over the last half a year that I've gotten to know her. We first met on the set of a photo shoot. It was a holiday shoot, and there were couples there, and people were bringing their babies, and I brought in my fur baby, and I thought, this is such a creative and artistic shoot that I had not really experienced something like this in Vancouver before. Like, the amount of thought that had gone into putting this set design together was very particular and very beautiful. Me and Loki got some really beautiful holiday photos and videos, and then I think we ran into each other a couple of times, but finally we had the opportunity to do a creative together. We sat down for coffee, and I was really inspired by her vision and her way of thinking and seeing the world and viewing people, and how she wanted to help bring and showcase someone's beauty, or showcase like someone's personal brand, or whether it is like someone who's a content creator or an influencer or a company. And up till now, we worked on about 9 photo shoots together in less than a year, and every time I'm always blown away by the end results, how clean the images are, yet her eye for detail is so beautiful. However, her journey, her background is not really as a photographer. It's actually, she was a therapist in Ukraine. She worked in branding, so that led to photography. And she's been in Canada for just 2 years. And before that, she didn't even speak any English. So I welcome on the set of On Location with Zara, Kateryna Verheles. I hope I'm saying your name right. Yes?
Right.
Okay, we did it. I've never used your last name, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. Because your Instagram is with your last name, but I've never really used your last name. So how would you say your name in with your accent in Ukrainian? How would you properly pronounce your name?
Kateryna.
Kateryna. Kateryna.
Something like that.
Okay, say it again.
Kateryna.
Kateryna. And your last name?
Verheles.
Verheles. Okay, Kateryna Verheles.
Correct.
Got it. Okay,
Thank
great.
you.
So tell me, when did you move? You moved to Vancouver 2 years ago. Like, we all know about the war in Ukraine. How is your family doing, first of all?
My family is well. My mother come 1 year ago, and now she's living with us. My sister stay in Ukraine with her family. She is fine.
I'm sure it's challenging. Like, I saw like the recent developments and everything, and well, I really appreciate you joining us here. Now, your background is photography is something you started doing here. Tell me about life in Ukraine and what you were doing there. Did you do branding first, or were you doing branding and working as a therapist at the same time? What's your journey look like?
Yes, first I decided to study in university, and I finished it as a psychologist.
Okay.
So, and first I tried to work as a psychologist, so I studied at postgraduate, so I want to finish PhD, and I stay working as a psychologist because I want more practice. But I decided to switch my job, actually because of money. Because in my country, psychologist it's not maybe good.
Well paid.
Yes, well-paid job.
Mm.
That's why I changed my mind and I start to work at IT company, for big IT company as a human resources manager, and also I did human resources branding, so it connected with visual content.
And I think when you're working in HR and human resources, it's also about dealing with people. So
Yes,
you
exactly.
can bring in your experience as a psychologist, where you're dealing with people, and I think so much also as a photographer,
Yes.
because it's very much about understanding people.
Yes, that's my
And-
favorite part.
And like every person you're dealing with is different.
Yes, yes, I love it.
And I feel like, you know what, I know we're gonna dig back into your past, but I do want to say, like, I feel like working with you is such a fun, and also, like, sometimes I've been going through hard times or like a difficult day or whatever, and I would see you and we would shoot, and afterwards I just feel so just like relaxed and laughing and fun. Like, you know, there's some videos like we just laugh so much, and I feel like if I reflect on what I thought, like, you know, I'll be turning 42 in a month. In my 20s, what I thought like a 42 something would look like, and you know, I would think that, okay, you know, my whatever external looks would be gone, or, and you know, modeling back then to like us just doing creative stuff now. Like, I just always leave the shoots feeling so inspired, feeling just beautiful, but from like inside out, but more myself. And you know, we go and explore different places, and we do
Yes.
fun and silly things. Sometimes we don't really have a plan, but sometimes we do. Like, I just find that, and I think that comes out of maybe your psychology background, because I feel like after this you're going to shoot a wedding, you know, and I'm
Yes.
sure when you're going there it takes a certain mindset, right? Like, and do you find that your studies as a psychologist, they really help you in photography?
Yes, I think so, and I really happy to hear that you feel like that after photo shoot, because for me it's also special journey in your, I don't know, maybe soul, and it was really fun for me to have a photo shoot with you, because it's more about your soul, about you inside, not only outside.
No,
Yes,
no.
so it's very, very connected with
Yeah.
your soul.
And it's very like a close experience. Like, I feel like
Yes.
quite often some of my closest friends are photographers. Like, I don't know how to explain it, how or why that happens. Like I'm going to Paris, and like one of my closest friends there, Ulrich, he's a photographer, and it's like we did one photo shoot before I moved to Paris, and then when I decided to make the decision to move to Paris, he came and like met me at the airport, helping me, you know. But you use the word soul. I do feel there is something about that in that moment, like all your masks kind of drop,
Yes.
and you have to let someone in because they're really looking at you.
Yes, yes, and I see.
Yeah. So tell me about like then going into branding and HR, and then how you used that experience, and got into photography, and where did the inspiration come from to pick up a camera?
Oh, it's quite a difficult question. Let me think about that. First, maybe maybe to know, for example, if you work in a messy office, you need to show your future employers that it looks nice. So you should find good people with good personality, good angles, how to show the space. This is work. So I was responsible for this part of branding. I should to post some pictures on websites and social media that show the best place for working. So sometimes it's difficult.
And was this part of your HR work?
Yes.
Wow,
So
that's so interesting.
yes, I was a people partner,
Mm.
and also I manage employer branding.
Okay.
So it's not brand of the company as I don't know, as a product
Mm.
or play or I don't know how to say or I didn't show that this play is good for some I don't know products maybe, yeah. But I should show it's the best place for working. So I work with
Because you want people to come there and apply and
Yes.
all of that, so you're making it.
yes, because it's IT sphere.
Mm-hmm.
And it's difficult to find good programmers, good software developer. That's why it's very important part of my job.
That's fascinating. So, you know, obviously it's challenging moving to a new country, leaving your life in Ukraine and your family and friends and everything that you've known. I know you've gone through a lot. Um, how has the transition been for you here? And you came here with your husband and getting adjusted to life in Vancouver in Canada, and of course you didn't speak any English before. You're speaking English now. You're doing great.
Thank you. I should still learning, and I studying at college my English. But first it wasn't easy. Didn't easy for me because when I came here, I realized that my English is nothing for a human resources job. So I can't work in this sphere, especially in IT companies that I love too much. And after that, I really feel bad because I can't find myself in this country. And in my country, I had a very good salary for my country. But here, I understand it's so expensive city, and I can't imagine what I can do. After that, I just trying to do some photo shoots as a volunteer for events.
Did you already have a camera?
I had in my country, but I buy simple one.
Okay.
Just simple one, and I tried to do with this camera, and this shoot was good. And some people asked about commercial photo shoots. After that, I realized that I can have some money with that, and I trying to do more photo shoots, more, and now it's
one thing I do notice about you, and I think I was telling you this. Did you see the review I left for you on your Instagram?
Sorry?
Did you see the review? I left you a nice big review on your Instagram. You didn't see?
I'm not sure.
No. She's too busy working. No, I just talked about the experience of working with you on your very first picture. If you take a look on your Instagram, I left like a comment. It's like this long.
Oh.
That's why when I messaged you that day after our Friday morning shoot, I'm still waiting for the photos. After our Friday morning shoot, I left you this long.
Oh, sorry, I maybe didn't.
Yeah.
I even check my Instagram.
Really? Okay, you're too busy working and editing. So I think one thing that I really appreciate, like for example, the shoot that we did on the third beach, where you and your husband, you guys came on like this Sunday, like unloading and this big production. Like I've lived in Vancouver, dude, for so long. No joke. Like no, I think if I were to show it to any other photographer here, I just don't think people would put in that much effort. And I feel like you had there was so much attention to detail in the set you created, and I think that's what I like about you. Like I like working with you because you really tap into that creative and maybe romantic part, and like this, and also part of this is a fantasy, right? Like it's like what you're imagining, and then how can this picture that is on your mind, how is that going to come to life? And when you showed it to me, it looked very simple, because it was just a bed with some bed sheets and pillows, and you're like, but then you elaborated and you added so much to that.
Oh yeah, thank you. You're my favorite model, and I really love how you pose. You looks very natural. You don't pose.
Thank you.
You just live your life. That's all.
Thank you, honey. Like, I have to tell you, I remember so many people on my Facebook were commenting. They're like, what did they say? I need to up my beach game. They're like, oh, is this how you go to the beach? I didn't know this is what I have to do. But it's so like magical, like retro cinematic movie like vibes. And then later on, I realized that photo that you had sent me, there was one version where the water was more bluer, and I had saved. I'm waiting for more pictures, you know.
Yes,
but
yes,
before,
I
before
will
I
send them today.
okay, but before I leave for Paris, I'd love to post one, because you know the next little while, it's all gonna be after I'm there. It's gonna be all Paris, 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 Paris.
Okay.
You know, you're gonna be seeing Eiffel Tower forever. So talk to me about, because the work you do, Kateryna, Kat, the work you do, you're not just doing photography, you're doing set design. You know, you're creating this space, right? Like, I remember the first time that I came in Gastown, and it was, you know, you guys had created the different sets, and I like the simplicity of them, and you're bringing a flair that is not North American, right? Like, you're bringing that European, that different lens to here. And I remember some of the tree was very simple. It wasn't the gold and this and that. There was simplicity to the work. So how do you, because every shoot that you do is very different, and you're working with lots of different clients. So when you're creating a set, like, where do you get your inspiration from? Like, how do you get into that thought process? Like, before the beach shoot, I think that's your biggest production you've done, or at least from what I've seen of you. Like, everyone around was shocked. I had friends there. They were shocked. You know, people were just in shock that this is happening.
Maybe I just now I have idea that it's because I also did some events. I also
Here or in Ukraine?
in Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
So I was as event manager.
Mm-hmm.
It also was my part as
Mhm.
brand manager.
Okay.
So and usually we haven't a big budget.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I did some photo zone by myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's why at my home I have a lot of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
some props
Mm.
for different photo shoots in
Mm.
Ukraine. Now, unfortunately, my apartment not so big, but anyway, I still try to collect many different interesting things for the photo shoots.
Do you feel like you're like? It's interesting because when we talk about that, and then I see you're dressed very, like, you know, simple. And then when we see your photos, like whether it's like a picnic shoot or like the beach shoot, or you know, some other stuff, like whenever there is, like, I saw you posted the other day about it being the sunflower season, you know, and even the videos that you create, because I remember we were shooting at my place, and you just get these ideas. You're like, okay, and do this, and now you're jumping, and now you're just sipping, and do it like this. And for me, it's like, okay, just let go and allow yourself to be led by someone else, that someone else is directing you, because I know that, you know, you have this ideas, and my job is let go, let this person take charge and tell me what to do, you know, and that you're gonna know. I remember one day we spent like 12 hours.
Yes.
12 hours we were here, but we were not even tired. We're just going and we're going and we're going and we're going. I honestly have so much content that hasn't even been, you know, it's like I'm gonna have slowly, because between working on the TV shows and, you know, I'm like trying to mix on my social media. My feed, it is a mixture of like photo shoots, behind the scenes, the TV shows, the multiple shows I'm working on. You have a very clean aesthetic. clean but artistic. So how would you describe your style?
Oh, thank you. Those kind words. Maybe for me, I usually focus on the people, and these details help me to show this personality. Like its atmosphere, and its atmosphere help to um, imagine all. I don't know how to say all personality or all this person, all about this story. So I try to take not only picture, I try to tell the story with the picture about this person. Because my favorite it's portraits. Couple portraits, family portraits, but it's portraits. It's about people. And these details, this everything help me to show, to drop inside the person, maybe. Maybe.
Tell me about that experience. Like, it's almost like what actors do. Like, tell me about the person of, because you have to be very there. Because you have to, I know there's sometimes I'm with you and you're like, honey, shake it off. Laugh, ha ha ha. You know, you tell me about that experience as a photographer of working with someone and being there with them and like really opening to them. Because I don't think, like, I guess I have a lot of male photographer friends. I haven't really heard them speak like that. So I would love to hear your experience.
For me, it's very important to have emotions on the face. So I need sometimes people like maybe overwhelmed or stressful, different things I can imagine, and that's why I try to be funny, sometimes maybe weird, and it make people laughing and people don't scared to be weird too. And that's why I try to make jokes. Sometimes it's not good jokes because at that moment I don't think is it allowed in America, in Canada or not allowed.
Yeah.
In my country it's allowed, but here, and sometimes I say something very stupid, but it make people laughing, funny, and people relaxed after that. And
I think you have to be a very much people person, hey, and like very sensitive to that.
yes,
Very yeah, it's like I'm sort of reflecting on, you know, some of my experiences because a lot of my friends are photographers and, you know, I'll get my headshot done and then they'll be like, okay, laugh, ha 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 ha. You know, it's like I love him, like I, you know, I love, and they're, but it's very different when you go deeper than just the surface and like to go because the way that you're describing, like, you know, it's like the opening up to them, like really going into their heart. So tell us about, for those who are not familiar with your work, like, so what is the majority of your work that you're doing these days? Like, you know, in terms of like, are you doing models? Are you doing couples? Are you doing weddings? Are you doing baby photos? Like, what type of shoots do you?
Actually, I started with all of these shoots. Now I prefer focus on couples and portraits, family portraits and solo portraits. It's my favorite. I also do event photography. I like reportage.
Reporting. That's like in
yes.
French.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
No.
This I also love. Just catch the moments. Like you know. So I love it, but I prefer to be with the friends because I falling in love with the people, with their beauty. Because in Vancouver, very different type of faces. I really falling in love, and that's why I prefer on couple portraits, love story, solo portraits, family portraits with the babies. That's my favorite.
That's so beautiful. Like, there's some couple portraits that I've seen you do where it's again just looks like a postcard, you know, like summertime, springtime, with like the blanket and like the you have this beautiful basket and flowers and this and that. Where do you think that comes from for you? Like, is it from movies, or are you just like a romantic person? Where do you get these ideas from?
I think everything what I see every day, if I see interesting thing, I can make idea, and I immediately write this idea in my notes. And after, when I looking for ideas, I just open my notes. Oh, this one can work. So this idea I have maybe even in my childhood, because for example, some location wasn't not available in my country. So we have this location, and now I can realize all of them. I mean, if I see movie, and if I see some posters, if I see some peoples, if I open Pinterest, everywhere you can find ideas. Just my part, it's notice and open when I need them.
That's beautiful. But I think you have to be willing to be open to that inspiration, right?
Yes.
Like, be open to, like, okay, I want to try something new. I remember, like, you showed me that idea. Like, I keep referencing back to this really magical shoot we did, and I think everyone around in Vancouver on Third Beach was in shock. They're like, what is happening here? So Kateryna with her husband, they come with this, it's like a trolley. Like, they come with this trolley, and everything is like packed up. I'm like, okay, like, I wonder what's gonna happen with the bed stuff. And then, you guys and then you have tables, and you had like a record player, you had these records, like, it was like a whole scene, and all these props, and right at the edge of the beach, so you could see, it's truly like an experience. Like, it could be like for a music video. Like, that's the way that I experienced it. Like, it was, so you're gonna have to outdo yourself on that, because it'll be like, what's next before the summer is over. So you're also really into getting outdoors and hiking and camping in Vancouver and BC. Is that something you did in Ukraine as well?
Actually, I love it all my life, but in my country, it's maybe not so comfortable like this, like in Canada, because we tried to move it in forest in Ukraine, but it was not without, for example, without any washroom, without anything. So it's not comfortable. That's why we really understand that Vancouver is the best place for us, because even for these 2 years I have an opportunity to visit all beautiful places here.
I know you're almost every weekend, you guys are almost every second weekend, you guys are camping or going around and exploring and hiking and glacier lakes, and you have 2 different Instagrams, one for your photography, one for your own camping, and you're shooting a wedding today. Tell us about that.
Oh yeah, it was pre-wedding couple photo shoots in beautiful places with the rocks. By the way, it's my favorite maybe location, because it's forest, rocks, sea, sunset. I love everything about that. So yeah, it will be amazing, I think so. That's couple who has.
Are these like their couple photos, or are they actually getting married today?
Actually, it will be wedding outfits,
Okay.
but they have a wedding on August.
Okay.
And now it's just portraits for them.
I think that's really smart to get them done on a different day, then you're not running to get your wedding pictures done. Because I know a lot of people, they waste all this time and they're away from their guests, because on the day the photos that are done, I think that's really smart way of doing it. And you have your same outfit, hair, makeup, everything.
Yes, you can don't rush, just take a picture.
Yeah, you can spend a whole day. You're like the whole day. I want the sunrise and the sunset. I want all of it. And like the bed on the beach, I want that too. those are my requests.
Yeah, I have a lot of ideas,
Yeah.
so of course, I want to invite you for all of them.
Oh, I'm in. Do you think that you've been like this with, since you were a child? That because I feel like being an artist, because being a photographer, being a creative person, you have to have like a childlike sense of wonder, like looking at the world, but more open than like an adult, because as adults sometimes we forget that when we're kids, we imagine we can fly and this can happen and Peter Pan and Wendy and like we believe in the things that, as adults, we're very much like logical. Whereas to be an artist is actually to defy those rules, to not believe in those rules, and to believe in something more mystical, something more, have you been like that as a kid since you were a kid?
Yes, exactly. I really maybe miss this time when I believe in Santa. Yes, because until maybe 10, my parents put gifts under the Christmas tree. I really believe in Santa, but after that,
Were you watching movies as well, and you're like, this man, he's gonna come with the elves and on the sleigh, and he's going to come and bring you the gifts? And you're leaving like the milk and the cookies.
No, in my country we didn't.
Okay, sorry.
But just Christmas tree
Yeah.
and.
Yeah.
Actually, we have the same traditions, but for New Year.
Okay.
So we have a Santa on New Year.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my, wow.
So Christmas is just Christmas.
Okay.
Because God was born.
Okay.
So, but New Year it's Christmas tree with Santa.
Okay. And would someone dress up like your dad would dress up, or somebody would dress up, or no?
In my family, no.
No.
We just waiting for the morning because we want to open the gifts.
Okay.
And it was a dream. I have older sister, and we tried don't sleep in the night because we want meet Santa. And every time we fall asleep, and oh no,
we miss Santa.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute. I love it.
But after 10, we understand that Santa doesn't. We haven't Santa, and we try to catch our parents in process, and also we fall asleep every night.
Oh, that's so sweet. I love that. Where do you we were talking just about inspiration, but is there like a particular photographer or like a film or something that you would say really left a mark on you and inspires your work?
You mean
like where you get inspiration from, like maybe like a movie or like a photographer whose work you really admire, or maybe like a place?
I really love people. I think I inspiration because of them. And I'm it's second side of the creativity. I'm very sensitive. Very sensitive. It's two ways, good way and bad way.
Yeah.
Good way.
Welcome to the club. Yeah.
And I really feel the people. I really falling in love with my clients, with everyone. I see the beauty everyone. Everyone have a beauty, and I can see this beauty. But in opposite way, I also feel negative things, and it might make me sad, very simply.
I guess like over time learning to have those boundaries, right? Like I can relate very much, and as a performer, and like just learning to have like the emotional boundaries of like, because there's times like I remember very clearly I was in Paris going through a breakup the same day that I'm living with someone, and I have to be on camera and interview guests, and it was like finito, the breakup, and it was like, okay, I would be moving and all these things. I'd spent the morning crying, and then I have like an amazing designer, couturier, who was also dressing me, giving me the outfit, and I have to be like, hi everyone, I Sarah. And you can just see I still have the interview. You can see like it's in my eyes, but I'm like, because I'm like, okay, give me some coffee and I'm gonna just
Yeah.
the show must go on, you have
Yes.
to, but I understand, because it's like, even when you're interviewing someone, if they're not giving you energy, because every person you talk to is different, and it's the same for
Yes.
me when I'm interviewing. I do fall in love with people and get inspired by them, because it's the conversations of why does someone do what they do and what really drives them. What are your hopes with photography? I mean, I know you've been in Canada for 2 years, and in a short amount of time you're very busy, you're very much in demand. You don't even get a break. What are your hopes and dreams, in terms of, like, if anything was possible, like in 5 years or 10 years, if you're like, I would love to do that?
You mean what is my dreams about photography, right? So first, it was my first dream about. I really dreamed about being posted in magazine, and it was already because of Zara. Yes, because we did for photo, and this photo was posted in fashion magazine. So, my first dream.
Amazing. I was actually thinking, you're here, I was going to message you. The stuff we did on Third Beach, and just sending it to the same magazine to see if they're interested in publishing it. Because I'm going to do stuff with them in Paris as well.
Oh, okay.
Totally side note. But
Yes. So also, my dream is maybe have some interesting weddings, and
like
being,
what kind?
and being also as like doing everything like production about wedding photo shoot. So some ideas, something like atmosphere. So that's
Would you want to do that here, or would you want to do that in Europe?
Both way. So I love Europe. I love Canada. It's different, totally, but I love both of them. So I prefer discovering new locations, new people, new ideas, and I really love weddings because it's maybe special day in your life.
And it's a lot of emotions, and also it's a lot of pressure.
Yes, but I'm okay. I think I'm okay now. But we will see.
Yeah, I know, because you've been doing it for a while, right? Like, if I would imagine, like, capturing someone's wedding and, like, the right moments and making sure, they're looking, everything. I think it's a lot of pressure, because people are like, is this what I look like?
And also, maybe wedding, it's first my dream, and second one, I dream open my own photo studio. I have many ideas.
Like you mean to have like a studio space?
Yes, studio space.
I can see that. Yeah.
And I already have ideas what I want to have. Some different spaces with different ideas, and I really like to decorate them. So that's my dream. And yes, I prefer take a picture in the studio, maybe solo portrait, something special. Like it's journey to your special day. Special day doesn't matter. It can be birthday or something.
Yeah. And I think it's really, there's something special about photos and that moment that you have captured, that I know for someone like me, like I grew up never thinking in a million years I would be modeling or acting or working as a TV host. And I think it's actually been very healing to be in front of the camera, because I never really thought someone like me would be in front of like, I remember, I think I was 19, I didn't even know how to walk in heels or do my makeup. It's through doing, I was looking, and there was like an ad where it was like, okay, if you get your hair done, it's a fashion show, you get paid to get your hair done. And I was like, oh, I will do that. And it's like one thing led, so I think it's such a beautiful medium, and it does require a certain personality to capture people's essence, to capture that, and then to also show them what they're capable of, because with lighting we can just, and I love the fact that you love natural light, because I remember we were in the forest and you were like, oh, stand right there, and you're going around. I couldn't really imagine exactly what are you trying to shoot, and you knew, and with the fern and everything, we made some, we had a lot of fun that day. I know you have to run to the wedding. I want to make sure you get there on time. Before I let you go, is there something that we haven't talked about that you'd like to share with our audience?
Oh, I think I really feel now fulfilled, and I feel after my therapy session with psychologist. Yes, it's really interesting feeling. I feel very good, a lot of energy now, and I relax now because I a bit scared before this recording because it's my first time. That's why it was.
Aw,
Yeah.
you're great because you're always the person behind the
Yes,
camera.
exactly.
So for me, I was like, I think it's going to be very interesting to bring you in front and to talk to you because you're always the one who is quietly capturing everything. And I do think because we talk enough, and I do think that you have a very interesting and beautiful story, and I love the fact that you started this new life and you're so optimistic and you're so all your work is so different, yet at the same time it's about people, it's about love, it's about happiness, and it's like you are a very positive person. So I wanted to share that with our audience. So thank you so much,
Yeah.
Kateryna. I know you have a busy day. I want to make sure you get to your photo shoot on
Yeah,
time.
thank you very much for inviting me. I really appreciate this experience. I really love it.
Oh, good.
You're amazing.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
she's really amazing.
Oh, good. Thank you, honey. Thank you. You were great. No, it was like I know you were like nervous coming in and like and it's different, right? Like I remember learning to speak a different language like French, which I'm like really poor at. But to speak in that language and then to have it recorded, it's like a different kind of stress. So you were amazing. Thank you.
Oh, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
My pleasure. I'll share Kateryna's info with you. So if you guys want to follow her, you're more than welcome to do that. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in, for tuning in, and watching On Location with Zara, produced with the support of Telestory Hive. It's been such a pleasure bringing some amazing, inspiring locals who call Vancouver home to you over the last 9 months or so. Until next time, I'm Zara Durrani, and I'll catch you on Location with Zara. Ciao.